every year around the end of summer, I started planning my winter escape because I dreaded the winter. Mainly November. The endless gray skies, the rain, the cold, the humidity that went into your bones, then the snow and everything that comes with winter if you live in Central Eastern Europe, like I did. The hats, the coats, the boots, the 1 million layers that you have to put on you to keep warm. I just hated it. So I actually built my whole life around escaping that. I became a freelancer in order to have the freedom to say, bye, I'm gone for 4 or 6 weeks, and not to have to explain what I do to anybody or ask for permission for holidays and all that. And this was what I was doing for years. And every time I escaped, I knew one day I'll have to go back to the cold and the grayness. I would be almost depressed. And I couldn't be in the moment. I couldn't enjoy the time wherever I was, which was usually Southeast Asia. I went to Central America once to learn Spanish. And that was actually terrible because I was still there in the sun thinking, just enjoy, just be happy you're still here. You'll be back in the cold in a week. But my mind was already on the plane back and in the hat, in the heavy coat, in the boots. And I was terrible. I actually realized at one point that it wasn't so much about traveling, which I loved and still love, but it was about chasing the sun. I was chasing the light that was giving me energy, that was giving me joy, that was making me happy, the blue skies, the feeling of warmth on the skin. It was just amazing. And I know there are people who are completely not bothered by the rain, by the cold. They actually like it. I'm not that kind of species. I'm just the complete opposite and in the other camp, who would rather sweat than freeze. I really can't remember when I started to think about going away for a longer time, like for the whole winter or at least a few months. And I was considering various options, yet I was single and it wasn't easy for several reasons. But I kept dreaming and I kept thinking, okay, maybe I could get a job in a bar somewhere in the Caribbean, I don't know, whatever. Or maybe I could swap homes with someone. And so I had all kind of ideas, but nothing really worked out. That was until I met my partner, Eamon, who is Irish. And you can believe me that the rain in Ireland and the grayness is on a completely different level than in Poland. It's 60 shades of gray and it can rain for months, literally. So what I was talking about was peanuts. And when we realized we have the same goal and the same dream, we started to think how to make it come true. And what could we do to make it happen? At that time, my business was based in Poland. I was a translator and interpreter. His business was service-based in Ireland. And that was quite a big part of the income for me and for him. We really didn't know how it could all work out. Yet we kept searching and traveling and looking for possible places to live. Having the same goal was step number one, because that was the big hurdle for me when I was single. That was a huge, huge progress. Yet we still weren't at the stage where we would just say, okay, let's do it. First of all, we didn't know where we would like to live, how to make it all happen. We knew we are going to earn less when we move. We knew that the part of the business that required us to be actually there would fall away. So there were a lot of question marks. Our first pick was Greece because we fell in love with Corfu and we really wanted to live there, but it just didn't work out for various reasons. Then we were in Thailand, and that is an ideal place for many expats, but it's just too far away from Europe. Then one winter we came to Tenerife and we actually quite liked it, but not enough to say, yeah, that's the place, that's our place on earth. Looking back, the universe must have wanted us to make the move because we met a lady from Belgium who's been living here for years. And when we told her we are dreaming about living in the sun, she said, what are you waiting for? You're not getting any younger. Do you want to come here in your 70s like most of the people do and have possible ailments, health issues? At that time, I was in my late 40s and Eamon was in his mid 50s. And that was really the aha moment when something shifted in our heads. From then, everything was just in the flow. We found an apartment, and 4 months later, we landed on the island with 5 suitcases. We knew this was a big leap of faith. We didn't know how it's going to work out financially and everything else, but we did it. We just thought, okay, it's now or never. At this moment in time, we've been here for a good while, earning significantly less, but waking up to blue sky and the sun almost every day, going for a walk by the ocean, having a very simple and quiet life that we chose and we never regretted. But this chapter is slowly coming to an end. If you enjoyed my video, come and sit with me again.